the clerk's job is really the record keeper and the financial officer for Superior Court, and that's that's what I do.
I'm Alan McPheeters with the Voter Interests Project. This year, voters in Island County will elect officials to several county offices, including assessor, auditor, clerk, coroner, prosecutor, sheriff, treasurer, and district court judge. 19 candidates filed to run for these offices, and we've invited each of them to join us for an interview. You can find out more about the candidates and our election coverage at voterinterests.com. And if you'd like future coverage sent straight to you, you can subscribe at voterinterests.com/subscribe. Today I'm talking with Maria Hazelo, a Republican who's running for clerk. We shared possible questions with her ahead of time. Good evening, everybody. Today is Tuesday, June the 30th, 2026, and we are here with Maria Hazelo, who is running for Island County Clerk. Maria, welcome to the Voter Interest Project.
Well, hello. Thank you for the invite, and thank you to the Voter Interest Project for the opportunity.
Absolutely. Uh, I'm chuckling because this interview is starting late. It's entirely my fault. I came up to the office late, and so we're rushing around a little bit, but Maria's been very gracious and patient with me. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Now, we were talking just before I turned the camera on. We have people who come into these interviews all over the place, indoors, outdoors, home, office. Where are you tonight?
I'm sitting in my office in my very busy home. I have two teenage grandsons here. One's visiting from out of town, so I told them, keep it down, guys. But and then I have, the hubby and dinners going about. So
Nice. Very good.
yeah.
Okay. Well, we always like to open with a little biographical stuff. It's so this is an unusual interview in that I've already talked to your husband, so I know some things, but the people who are watching this may not have seen that yet or whatever. So let's talk about who you are and how you got here. And obviously you're married.
Yes.
You have some kids. How many kids do you
Yes.
have?
I have three sons. We raised three sons. We lost one in a car accident. So
Oh,
um
sorry to hear
yeah.
that.
So we
Uh,
we raised three sons though. Yes. Here
okay,
on
very good.
Whidbey,
Very
mostly.
good. And uh, have you always lived here on Whidbey? What brought you here if you didn't?
Well, we've lived here since 1995. So we've lived here 31 years. This was Tim's, my husband's last duty station before he separated from the Navy. So the kids were already teenagers by this time, so we decided we're not going to move them again. We'll let them graduate here. And so that's what we decided to do. We bought a house and we stayed here and just became really involved in the community here, and we love it. So,
Outstanding.
yeah.
Outstanding. Now, what is your professional background? What do you do in your day job and what goes
Oh,
on?
so I work at Island County Juvenile Court, which is a branch of the Superior Court,
Okay.
and I am the office manager. I've worked for Island County for 20 years, if you include my on-call detention officer time. And I
Okay.
say that because the county doesn't put that on your time earned.
Oh,
So
okay.
according to the county, I have 15 years in, but I've been with them for 20 years.
Okay. Fair enough. And that job sounds kind of clerk adjacent.
It is clerk adjacent because we are the Superior Court Administration, and I work directly under the Superior Court Administrator.
Okay.
And so we're different than the clerks in that the judges are part of Superior Court Administration also. And then we have, judicial assistants, myself as the office manager of juvenile court, and there's many, many other programs in that department. And we can talk about that more if you like to.
Okay. Um,
Yeah.
Outside of your work for the county, have you been involved in municipal boards or commissions or nonprofit community groups, anything like that?
Well, I've been involved in just different, volunteered for different uh, organizations. I've volunteered with the Christian Children's Fund down at the Embassy Ranch on the south end, doing
Hmm.
the Christmas deliveries and organization and calls for them, trying to find, the needy children in the area. And I've done volunteer work at the VFW, the Elks Club. I've done, let's see, there's been quite a few other things. I'm not thinking of them all right now.
That's all right.
Yeah, but
You
that's
have
that's most of them.
you have quite a bit of civic engagement. It's fair to say.
Yes, yes,
Very
yes,
good.
yes. I have volunteered on a few political campaigns, but I have very limited political experience, if you will.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Uh, so what made you decide that you wanted to run for clerk?
Well, I think what really made me decide to run for clerk is because of the experience that I have, not just with the court, but also with the county. Like I said, I
Mhm.
have 20 years of experience in, and the clerk's job is really the record keeper and the financial officer for Superior Court, and that's that's what I do for the Superior Court administration side of things. Every financial transaction that goes through Superior Court administration comes across my desk, and I process all those. And I also am in charge of record keeping. I have office staff that helps me with that, but I'm responsible for the record keeping of all of the juvenile files.
Okay. This might be a good time to ask because I find a lot of people don't really have a good idea of what some of these county offices like clerk actually do. So can you
Yeah.
explain what the clerk's responsibilities are?
Yeah, the clerk's responsibilities is just what I just said. Basically, they're the record keeper
Hmm.
and the financial officer for the Superior Court.
Okay.
They assist the in the courtroom as well as at the counter. It's a highly public duty, and they have to, they're of helping the people that at the counter, getting all the filings done. Um, they're and it's I and the actual also being that leader and supervisor of all of the clerks. I think there's about 12 positions right now. I think
Okay.
they're trying to put in another one, and I think they're a little short-handed right now, to be honest. But hopefully that'll be straightening out soon.
Sure. Do you
Yeah.
have a sense of how many people go into the clerk's office for to do business in any given period of time? Just order of magnitude. It doesn't have to be exact, but
Uh, that's a good question. I hadn't thought of that, but I did think of, like what percentage of the entire population must use Superior Court, and it has to be pretty high number because, we all have things come up in our lives where we need to file a legal document. So, I mean, I'm saying it's probably over 50% of the whole population that uses the clerk's office at some point, if not
wow.
more than that. Because I
Okay.
mean, children obviously can't file, and they're included in the population, but
Right.
so I'm thinking it's got to be at least 50% of the whole population that's using the clerk's office and filing paperwork, legal documents.
Sure. Sure. That makes sense. Uh, so this job is a 4-year term. When you get to the end of the 4 years, whether you decide you want to run for another term or not, assuming you're elected, what do you want to be able to tell people that you've accomplished?
I want to be able to tell people that I've accomplished building a good team, serving the public well, um, carrying out those processes that are necessary, uh, you know, being just accountable to the public and just serving them in the best way that the clerk's office can.
Sure. Do you have a sense that there are any issues or problems over there? Is it run pretty well so far?
Well, I mean, you hear different things from different people, so I'd rather just wait to see when I get in there, if I get in there, to
Sure.
see what they are. I mean, every department has problems, so I'd like to, address it that way.
Mhm.
I mean, with any department, you're going to have turnover, and I know that that's a problem that the clerk's office has had challenges with. So if I get in there, I'll definitely do some investigating to see what the reason for that is, and address it immediately and try to figure out the best way to go about fixing that problem.
It seems like that's a bit of a problem, sort of countywide. Have you had that kind of thing happen in the juvenile group?
Um, Not as much. Um, like I said, you know, we don't have 12 people sitting in one office together. We have a department, and our department is consists of different programs within the department. So when you get each program, they're in charge of, having their employees there. But no, we haven't had a lot of turnover like some of the other departments in the county have had to deal with, and
Very
I'm
good.
thankful for that.
Yeah, I'll bet.
But you're gonna
Nothing.
get a little bit, you get a little bit,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
yeah.
Just natural attrition through retirements, if nothing else. But sure, that makes sense.
That, and a lot of times, there'll be uh new graduates from colleges, and they want to get their foot in the door, get some court experience under their belt, and once they get it, they want to move into a bigger community, maybe, and so, it happens in small counties.
That actually
It's
sounds like the problem that the sheriff's office has, where
Yeah,
they'll bring somebody in and they'll get them trained, and then those people will go off to bigger and
yeah,
better things somewhere. That's unfortunate.
absolutely, that happens, yes.
So I, I've interviewed one of your competitors,
Okay.
and I said before this, and we've talked about it with people before, that I always like to try to aim for a 30-minute interview with this. And my interview with this other candidate ended up being pretty short just because I don't know very much about the clerk's office. But in doing some research, I saw that there's been a lot of problems with budget cuts. I mean, countywide, really, but in other counties around the state. And Thurston County is considering moving, reducing their public-facing staff or even moving to all online service. Is that, uh, I guess the question is, what are your thoughts on that? And how, is that something to be avoided, or is going
Well,
online a good thing?
I mean, the decisions like that are made by the commissioner's office, to
Yeah,
be honest. And I would advocate that we keep our office open to the public so that we have face-to-face service at
mhm.
all times. I think that we owe it to our community to do that. And I would advocate for keeping our office open and fully staffed. I would hope that it never comes to that,
Yeah,
honestly, because I think people need, you know, that public able to go and be able to have person to person interaction.
yeah. Yeah. One of the other things that I always like to ask candidates, especially in this kind of a role, you know, I've been involved with elected politics for a dozen years now, and in I used to be the district chairman in the 21st district Republicans over in Edmonds, Mukilteo, Linwood, and we had, sheriffs coming in and other county offices like that. And I feel like I have a pretty good idea of what being a Republican or being a Democrat means at the federal level. That's pretty easy. Or even at the
Mhm.
state level. I don't know what it means at the county level. And you're running as a Republican. Uh,
Mhm.
how do you think that that impacts how you would do the job? Or does it?
Uh, no, it does not. It does not affect how I would do the job. I'm a procedure driven person.
Mhm.
And those procedures are very well laid out by AOC and RCWs. And that is the only way we can do things. There is no room for uh, the my opinion in any
Mhm.
of that.
Okay.
So
Do you think that the clerk should be elected on a nonpartisan basis, or maybe even
I
appointed?
do actually. I do. I think that, yes.
Appoint or elected nonpartisan? Because
Yes, I think they should.
there's some people who argue that it should be that it's not really an office that should be elected, that it should be somebody who should be appointed. What do you think about that?
I think that either way would be fine. I kind of tend to agree with that too. Because it is a procedure driven, policy driven office and department, and there is no going outside those procedures. That you do the job the way it has to be done.
Right.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, I'm trying to think of other things that I can ask you because we're going really short. Uh,
Okay.
well, we can bring this to a close, but I always ask people at the end of the interview, people want to know more about you, and what you want to do in the clerk's office. What's the best way for them to get hold of you? And you Facebook or you have a website? Uh,
I have a website. It's votemhazelo.com.
okay.
And on there I have my email address. It's mhazelo for icc.com, I believe. But it's on the website, votemhazelo.com. And you can contact me through there. And
Okay.
my phone number is also listed on the website too. I don't
Very
have
good.
it handy with me. It's
You
brand
know,
new.
Well, so like I said, we're going to put this up on YouTube and we'll put it up on the website. In both places, we'll put this contact information about.
Okay, perfect.
I,
And then
I
I can
always
leave it as
chuckle at that.
comments.
I ran for office a dozen years ago, and I had my cell phone number on my website, and I got a couple of calls.
Yeah.
Uh, would you be happy to have people give you a call, or
Oh yeah, if they have a valid question, I would be happy to answer any questions, of course. Yeah.
okay, terrific.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then I think we'll probably wrap it up.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you so
you.
much for the time. I'm sorry about the lateness again,
Oh
um,
no, it's just fine.
but
I had a good time. Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
you're very welcome. Take
You have a
care.
good evening.
You too. Bye bye. Thanks for watching our interview with Maria Hazelo. If you found this helpful, you can learn more about the candidates and our election coverage at voterinterests.com. You can support our work at voterinterests.com/donate and help keep us producing resources like this for voters in Island County. You can also stay up to date on future interviews and election coverage by subscribing at voterinterests.com/subscribe.